Okay, so let's talk about NPD and projection. So I used to play a lot of music when I was younger. All the time. I've played in all different kinds of bands. I play several different instruments. I've just realized that purely by coincidence, I forgot to move the bass guitar out of the corner of the shop. It's just where I keep it. And as good as I was, and what the hell, I've got NPD. I was fucking brilliant, right? I didn't do anything with it. I'm not a famous musician. I've never released an album. I've never been in the recording studio with a band doing stuff I've written. Nothing like that, right? And consequently, I now hate most music. I hate going to live shows. I hate the idea of people being seen as good. Really, 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 really annoys me. And this is something that has sort of negatively affected my life. I don't get to enjoy music now. I kind of still do. I can let it. This is something. This particular thing is something that's waned in me the older I've gotten. But it stopped me having lots of experiences and enjoying stuff that I would have otherwise enjoyed, because I started saying things like, "Everything is shit. Music's all shit. Music's all fucking rubbish now." I'm sorry, I'm swearing a lot in this one. And it gets to the point where you sound ridiculous, right? When you start saying things like, Prince wasn't that good, was he? There comes a point with things like, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but with certain things, there becomes a point where you start sounding like a moron, And you'll do that because you don't really mean it. This is the projection bit. And this is just one example. I'll give you others. This is just a sort of lighter one, really, isn't it? You know what I mean. You know what's coming up. And so you don't get to enjoy things. I didn't get to enjoy music because I was sort of, that's all shit, really. And I don't really think it's all shit. I don't think Prince isn't brilliant. What I really think is, I wish I was. I'm angry and upset at myself that I didn't do anything with my music. That a lot of people, most of my friends, have never seen me play music live with a band, even though it's something that I've done a massive amount of. Some of the closest people to me in my life have never witnessed me do this thing. And it's really all my own fault. And I hate myself for it. I really do. And so I project that onto other people. Music's shit now. Why would you want to be involved with music? It's all just shit. But I don't really think that. I'm jealous. I project that pain, that hurt, onto something else because that's easier to deal with. I didn't do that. I didn't make Prince shit. Prince is just shit, right? That's it, right? Surely that's not my problem to deal with. That's easier to deal with, this made up thing, than dealing with the fact that, why did I do nothing with my music? Why did I let that talent go to waste? Why am I not in a band now? That's a lot harder to deal with because that's my shit to deal with. Beyond all these little criticisms, all these digs at whatever it is, doesn't matter whether it's music or something you found on YouTube, somebody who's a friend who's done something that you wish you'd done, really. All of these things that we're so cynical about, that we're so snarky about, that we refuse to be happy about and pleased about. It's all this inner pain. It's all jealousy. It's all hate. It's all, it's this self-pity and self-loathing. I saw a meme on Reddit a couple of weeks ago. It was something just that said, I'm sad for all the things I haven't got. Not because I haven't got them, but because I'm not doing anything about it. And that always seems sort of to apply to this. To me, that rang true with this. Like, I'm just angry that I'm not making myself better. I'm just being angry and snarky at somebody else. Right? I saw this come up when I was doing podcasting full time, because it was impossible to like another podcast. Some could get through the net. I don't know how that happened. I was always happy to listen to like shows by Twit and other things like that. But by and large, podcasts are shit now. And it's difficult to admit because you sort of get jealous. It is jealousy. It's anger at yourself, projected out to other things. And we don't just do it with accomplishments. We do it to people. We hurt people that we love because we shout at them and we get angry at them. And we're not really angry at them. We're angry at us. And that is such a difficult thing to face. Even if you're starting to realize that you've got a problem, right? The way you react to things is not the way you should react to things. On that journey, it's still difficult to accept that you're the problem. That your reactions are wrong and extreme because you're in so much pain from how you feel about yourself, and it comes out and you hurt other people with it. And accepting that you've done that is part of the anguish and horror of starting to make your way out of it. I've talked before about that being the hardest thing to go through, is realizing the hurt you've caused. And it becomes a step harder to deal with when you realize that it really is all you, but you were angry at yourself. It's difficult. And I can't make you get there. You know, for me, with the things, when I started to realize the hurt that I'd caused, it sort of just dawned on me at one point. It's quite weird. I just sort of realized, oh God, I did do all that. And it wasn't, I can't remember really when was it? That was in the very early days, and I was quite poorly at that time. And I sort of lose track of if there was anyone with me when I sort of realized that it's quite possibly somebody was. But no matter how many times I'd been told the hurt I was causing and how I was causing it, it never got through. I couldn't hear it. Because to hear it, you've got to accept your own flaws, your own failings, that all this narcissistic bullshit you've bought into is bullshit you've bought into. You made it and then you bought it. It's so the weirdest thing. Because it's so much easier to deal with than whatever is really going on in here. But once you realize that, and you realize that all that hurt isn't being caused by whoever you're projecting it onto, it's being caused by you being angry at yourself, then you can do something about that, right? You can't change what other people do and all that stuff, but you can definitely change what you do. You can definitely do something about that. You're the only one person in the world you can influence, so you can start to get the fuck on with it. I told you I'm swearing a lot today. Should I beep this stuff? And then you start to be able to become free of it. Only start, right? Don't get me wrong, it's not, and then you are free and you're fine and you're normal, because you're not. Then you sort of move on to I moved on to a period now where I am, which is sort of trying to get the balance right between self-confidence and buying into bullshit. It's a difficult thing to do, especially as I start doing podcasts again, doing YouTube videos and that sort of thing. This is stuff that boosts my ego, that gives me that, feeds the NPD, potentially. I feel a little bit like a government releasing a population back after quarantine. Like, I've got to keep my eye on the R number here. And if it goes too high, then perhaps I need to tone this down a bit. But for now, we're okay. But watch that number. And so I will try and gauge things. And anyway, I'll leave it there today because I think I've prattled on for over 10 minutes as it is, and I'm starting to get a little bit lost. But that's the nature of us, isn't it? Thank you for all the wonderful comments that you've been leaving. I absolutely adore hearing from you. So please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I can't believe I said that. Oh. I feel you should unsubscribe to I feel dirty. I'm sorry. I have to. Bye bye everybody. I hope to see you on it. Oh, I said that thing.